in the hat. So the ways of God, and so Jesus didn't get to Bethany in time to save Lazarus, and the sisters are, obviously very grieved, but they also wished that Jesus would have gotten there in time to save him. But here's the thing: God's ways are not our ways, and sometimes we don't understand what He's doing. And we ask God that classic question, why? And sometimes we don't get an answer. Sometimes we do. And sometimes we look back on things, and I have a lot of years to look back on. And I see, oh, God wasn't. But sometimes we don't know. And that's just part of life. One of my favorite quotes is that the first thing we're going to say, and this is from C.S. Lewis, um, the first thing we're going to say when we get to heaven is, of course, because it will all make sense then. But sometimes now, in this life, it doesn't make sense. At least we don't think it does. But God always does what we would ask Him to do if we knew everything He knows. I'm going to say that again. God always does what we would ask Him to do if we knew everything God knows. And we don't. Our understanding is um, only so true, or we don't have all the information. Okay, so okay, so this is where we're going to start. We're going to start. I know we're backing up still, but we're going to start with the wisdom of Martha and move from there. So we got to read this to remind you what this says first. Now, when Jesus came, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles off, and many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to console them concerning their brother. So when Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went and met him, but Mary remained seated in the house. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise in the resurrection on the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is coming into the world. When she said this, she went and called her sister Mary, saying in private, the teacher is here and is calling. So we see the wisdom of Martha in this, knowing who Jesus is. And I'm fine with that. She believes, but I don't think she believes Christ will raise Christ. I don't think she had any filter to know that and to expect that. And she just doesn't comprehend when. I mean, she's saying yeah, he's going to rise in the last day. So that's a belief of both Jews and Christians, that at the end of the time of this earth, everyone will rise and go to the judgment. But Jesus is saying your brother's going to rise right now. So she doesn't understand the timing of it. So when she had said this, she went and called her sister Mary, saying in private, the teacher is here and is calling for you. And when she heard it, she rose quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the village, but was still in the place where he met Martha had met him. When the Jews who were with her in the house, consoling her, saw Mary rise quickly and go out, they followed her, supposing she was going to the tomb to weep there. Now, when Mary came to where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. So now this says the wishes of Mary. And what they are, um, what they're saying here is they're likening Mary to people who say, if only this had happened, if only this. And I don't think that's right. She says, really, ostensibly, the same thing that Martha did. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. And in the Greek, it's almost identical. There's two words that are turned around, and that's it. So I don't think either one of them really gets what's happening. So I'm not going to be harsh on Mary because I think she's professing her love of Jesus and her belief in Jesus. So I think that's too harsh, but it also is she's showing her trust in him. When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come with her also weeping, he was deeply moved and in spirit and greatly troubled. And he said, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. So the Jews said, See how he loved him. See how Jesus loved Lazarus. But some of them said, Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man also have kept this man from dying? Then Jesus, deeply moved again, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone lay against it. Now we talked about this word yesterday, deeply moved. It's a crazy long word in the Greek. It's Embrimaomai. So you can pick whatever pronunciation you want because nobody else is going to know how to say it. So embermeo or something like that. And it means, you're going to like this back there, kids. It means anger. So that's the word they use for he's angry, right? But the word picture is angry, angry horses. So you're gonna answer this for me, okay? Because I've been around horses myself. And my parents were supposed to get me a horse, but I never got the horse. My mom kept saying, when your daddy uh, retires from the Air Force, you can have a horse. No, I did not get a horse. Do you know who got the horse?
Sister.
My baby sister. Yeah. And I'm like, he never took horse riding lessons. What are you doing? So anyway, um, so so the what? Okay, so I'm going to ask you this: what is a horse feeling when they're pawing at the ground and they're snorting and they're putting their heads up? What are they thinking?
They're angry. They're agitated, angry. They're uncomfortable.
And if you try to ride them, what are they going to do?
Oh, they'll buck you off.
They're going to buck you off. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I once had an ornery horse who was angry, and at just the right time, my teacher saw it and said, "Jump off!" And as soon as I got my stirrups out and got on I got on the saddle and I jumped off, he rolled. And I would have been under that horse. So he's angry. And that makes us a little uncomfortable. Jesus is angry? Really? And we're going to talk about that in the insert. I'll explain what he was angry about. I'm not going to tell you what they said because I don't think it's correct. But he is angry. He's not angry at anyone, but he is angry. And then Jesus weeps. He's we already did that. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to him, "Lord, by this time there will be an odor, for he has been dead 3 days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you for that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this on account of the people standing around, that they may believe that you sent me." When he had said these things, he cried out loud, in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The man who had died came out, his hands and feet bound with linen strips, and his face wrapped in a cloth. And Jesus said to him, "Unbind him and let him go." So Jesus, just with his words, the power of his words, and the power of Jesus, a dead man comes to life. And even in our day, believers have times of doubt and have excuses of why they can't do something or why they won't do something. But his word changes everything. And as it did here, his word today changes everything. So his words move Lazarus, and his word saves souls. Many of the Jews, therefore, who had come with Mary and had seen what he did, believed in him. But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. That first group believed in Jesus. The second group went to the leadership, the Jewish leadership, to get Jesus in trouble. And I can't imagine seeing that and getting angry at Jesus. There's a saying that goes like this: "There is none so blind as he who refuses to see." And that's the Jewish leadership. They refused to see who Jesus was. Yep. Some believe, some don't. And the same is true today, right? Some people believe and some people don't. So we're done with that.